So one of the things that I've been really fascinated with over the last few years is a collection of texts known as the Nag Hammadi Scriptures. This was found in Nag Hammadi, Egypt in 1945. It's a collection of texts, stories, gospels, all these writings about life and death and the afterlife and God and Jesus and heaven and hell and revelations and all these different kinds of things that didn't make it into the Bible for various reasons that we could talk about all day long. But a lot of these documents were deemed to be heretical by church fathers. They were told to be destroyed and thrown away. But a group of monks hid this collection away, and we found it and we have our hands on it. And one of the things I love about this, I haven't read all of them, I've read bits and pieces of a lot of them. But what I love about this is that it shows such a wide diversity in early Christian thinking. Because, like me, I was taught growing up that there's a very narrow way to believe that Jesus and the apostles handed down all the way to us. You've got to believe this, this, and this. That's the way. That's the truth. That's the life. Anything else outside of that is heretical. It's wrong. It's evil. But that's not true because there were these early Christians. We're talking first, second, third, fourth century Christians who had various beliefs about God and Jesus and the cross and life and death that are very different from the narrow orthodox way that many of us were handed. And a lot of them are reflected in this collection of writings. And so I read from this almost every day because it helps widen my faith. It helps evolve and grow my faith and give me a deeper appreciation for my Christian roots and remind me that I'm not as crazy as sometimes I think I am, because some of my thoughts about God and Jesus, I admit, can be way out there when you compare it to the orthodox norm that many of us are used to. But this reminds me, this collection of writings reminds me that I walk in a long line of people who have thought very differently. This morning I was reading from a collection. One of these writings is called The Teachings of Silvanus, I think. I don't really know if that's exactly how you say it. We're going to go with Silvanus. But there's this particular book, they say, was probably written towards the end. I want to say it's the end of the 3rd century. It's kind of where they're dating it to. So like 250, 260, 270, 280, somewhere like in that general area. But in here, it reads kind of like the book of Proverbs, maybe like Ecclesiastes, where it's like this collection of wisdom type sayings or paragraphs of wisdom, whatever. I'm not a scholar, I'm not a historian. I'm just reading this as a normal person, trying to explain it. But anyway, there's a section here where it says something really interesting, and I wanted to share it with you because maybe it will encourage you in your own journey. It says, entrust yourself to this one who became all for your sake. Knock on your inner self as upon a door, and walk within yourself as on a straight road. For if you walk on the road, you won't be able to go astray. And if you knock on this one, you knock on hidden treasures. Knock on your inner self as upon a door. I love that because I don't know about you, but growing up, I was told that my heart, right? The book of Jeremiah says your heart is deceitful. Your heart is wicked above all things. Who can know it? Who can trust it, right? You can't. And I was told that that meant I can't trust that inner intuitive voice inside, that I shouldn't trust it. I should look to the Bible. I should look to the church. I should look to pastors. I should look to professors. I should look to people who are a lot smarter, a lot more, spiritual than I am in order to really hear from God. Other people could hear from God on my behalf, but I always had to be wary of the voice within. But whoever this scripture belonged to, these people believed that that inner voice was a good voice. And that's kind of where I'm at in my journey today, is I'm learning to listen to that intuitive voice inside. I'm learning to listen to it. That's one of the reasons why I'm so fascinated with tarot cards, because tarot is all about your intuition. It's all about that intuitive voice inside, about looking at these different pictures on these cards and asking God or Jesus or the universe or whatever it is, whoever it is that you talk to, what am I seeing on here that can shine a light onto my life and to my journey into this season that I'm in this day. And so again, knock on your inner self as upon a door and walk within yourself as on a straight road. For if you walk on the road, you won't be able to go astray. And if you knock on this one, you knock on hidden treasures. There are hidden treasures buried within you that will give you insight into the biggest questions of your situations today. So I don't know what you've got going on in your life. I don't know what it is that you have going on, what crazy things are happening in your life, what kind of questions are arising in your mind and in your heart. But I think this scripture encourages us to slow down, to sit, to be quiet, to meditate, whatever that looks like for you, and to close our eyes and to sit with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and to ask deep down inside our inner self, knock on the door and search for the answers. Because inside of us, right, even the book of Genesis says that we're made in the image of God, right? God breathed into Adam. The very breath of God is inside of us. There's a divine spark inside of us. And so I think that when we get quiet enough and we dig deep down enough, we can access that spark. We can hear that spark. We can listen to that spark. We can get the wisdom. We can get the answers that we're looking for. So I hope that can encourage you today and encouraged me this morning. And I wanted to share it with you. Have a wonderful day. Peace. Catch you later.